Welcome to the Map Suite WebAPI Geometric Functions Learning Sample. I'm going to show you some of the most popular ways you can manipulate points, lines, and polygons. For these samples, I'm going to press the Run button from the menu to run the selected geometric functions. The first function is union. This combines multiple polygons into one. Okay. Let's look at the geometric function called difference. Difference compares two polygons and cuts the second polygon out of the first. The next geometric function is buffer. This adds a buffer to a point, line, or polygon. The buffer can have square or rounded corners. So this example, I use a polygon and a buffer that has rounded corners. Now, some suggested uses of this function include alerting people within so many feet of a road or parcel, or visualizing a non-compete zone within so many miles of a business. So lots of things you can do with a buffer. Next, let's look at scale. This scales the polygon up or down by a percentage, centered on the centroid of the polygon. So the centroid of this polygon is somewhere down here. So the resulting scaled polygon has been moved down somewhat. Let's look at rotation. This rotates the shape by a number of degrees. Okay, let's look at the next function, center point. This gets the center point of a polygon. This sample also shows the center point of the bounding box, which would be the rectangle that fits around this polygon. Okay, polygon center point and the bounding box center point. Let's look at area calculation. Now this can be done in hectares or acres, or any other units that you want to use. Okay, next function is simplify. This takes a complex polygon and reduces the number of sides so that the new polygon is an estimate of the original. Now, these complex polygons with many sides can be processor intensive, so if you only require an estimate, you can use simplify to increase performance. Okay, the next function is split. This splits a polygon into two. For example, you could use this tool in agriculture if you want to show multiple crop types in a field, or in real estate, use this to subdivide a parcel. Let's look at the get shortest line function. This calculates the distance between the two features. And it's not always easy with human eyes to figure out what the shortest line is between two complex polygons, so that's what this tool is used for. But you could also use it to find the shortest distance between points or lines. Length calculation shows the length of a line. In our sample, you could return feet or meters, but of course you could always modify this function to show kilometers or miles or whatever units you prefer. Get line on a line creates a new line based upon a subset of this line. Now, for example, if there is a chemical spill on a road and you need to shut down the road for 1,000 feet around it, you could create a buffer around this point. Then where the buffer intersects the road is the location of where the roadblocks need to be. Use get line on a line to highlight the section of the road that's impassable. Okay, let's look at clip. This uses a polygon to cut out other features. In our example, this blue polygon is the cookie cutter. And upon running clip, the features inside the polygon remain. But you could modify this function to perform the inverse and only leave the features outside of the polygon. All right, let's look at Convex Hull. This encapsulates all points or polygons inside a perimeter. In this example, there's 5 fires in a field. We can use Convex Hull to outline the burn area. There's also this polygon that has concave features, When we run Convex Hull, we're going to create a new polygon without concave features. Okay, so the bird area is highlighted, and this new feature has no concave sections. All right, let's look at snapping. If a vertex is within a certain radius of a line or a point, use snapping to align them. So, for example, this vertex is within this radius and will snap to this line, whereas this point is not within the radius and will not snap to this line. Okay. If, let's say you're tracing a road based upon aerial imagery, you're using human hand, it's not quite perfect, you can use snapping to line up the points. Let's look at our final geometric function in this example. That's envelope bounding box. This is used on irregular polygons to create the bounding box, which is the rectangle that will surround the polygon. There you go. This is helpful in case you want to zoom into this feature. Okay, let's look at the code. Here's client-side code. You can see here this div class panel content holds the geometric function list that is selected when you click Show Layers from the menu. These are all the geometric functions in the label. You can see we use jQuery. This is our leaflet sample, but you could also use Open Layers. Now, when you click Run, this function is run right here, and you can see that leaflet is called, and the prefix is tile/execute. Every geometric function has a prefix of execute. And so this URL is passed to the WebAPI controller. So let's look at that controller. Here's the geometric functions controller. And you can see all these geometric functions have a route prefix of execute, and then the name of the function. If we go down to the bottom, we can see that the save features is called. Save features is called on the conclusion of each one of these geometric functions, and save features stores the features into a local JSON file. That's because this is a REST-based Web API controller. Okay, I hope this Web API geometric functions learning sample was useful. If you have any comments or questions, please visit our Map Suite WebAPI forum. Thank you very much.